Hey, what's going on, crypto family? So we're going to give it a couple minutes and then we're going to go ahead and start this live stream. Hey, what's going on, Quick Draw? Good to have you. So we're just going to give it about 2 minutes, let some more people come in here, and then we'll go ahead and start this live stream. Hope y'all been doing good. Basically, looks like today we're having a little bit of consolidation, so that's to be expected, you know, after a big run-up that we had the past couple of days. Hey, what's going on, Kurt? Good to have you here. All right, so I got 6 people here so far, so let's go ahead and get this started. So as we see here, right now the market, you know, everything's down a couple percent. Like I was mentioning, you know, that's to be expected after a rally that we had the past couple of days. We can see Bitcoin right now is at 10,700, and looking at that chart, so, you know, just inverse head and shoulders, then drew some support and resistance lines here. And we can see here that this resistance line that it had at about 11,200, I was mentioning 11.2 to 11.3. We can see that it actually got just above that and then closed and had a little retracement all the way down here to 10,000, pretty much 10,000, and that's where we see a lot of buying. So what I can tell from that is there's massive support for this $10,000 level here. So if we do start to get to this level again, you can expect a lot of buying that's going to happen. This seems to be the new hard support. You know, it was basically just getting above this psychological level, the 10,000 level. And then once we've got above that, it seemed like, you know, we've pretty much stayed above it the whole time. So that's good to see. That's definitely a bullish sign here. And right now, I mean, looking at this RSI, this is where I like to see it. So, you know, it's not overbought, not oversold, right in the middle. So that tells you there's a lot of room for it to rise. So we could very well see it rise, you know, again, past this $11,300 resistance here. And then from there, then we'd be looking more at 11,800, and then we'd be looking at 12,000 after that. So That's where I drew the next resistance level. You know, we can see up here that there has been some resistance. Right here was at about, you know, around that $12,000 level. But again, there's some more here at the smaller resistance at about 11,500. So passing those, then we can start looking at 12,000 again, and then breaking up, you know, to newer highs from there. So just wanted to mention that so everyone has an idea of where we're at right now. But again, this is some great consolidation. So we'll just keep an eye on Bitcoin and see how we move from here. But looking at Ethereum, we see it's at $932, down 4%. We have Ripple at $1.14, down 4%. Bitcoin Cash at $15.15. Litecoins at $218. Cardano's 39 cents. Stellar is 46 cents. Neo $129. EOS $9.53, and then IOTA $2.03 for the top 10. So as you know, there was some mention about the Litecoin Cash fork. I mentioned that in my previous video. Pretty much, it's Charlie Lee mentioned, you know, anything forking with Litecoin, it's a scam. As you know, their team isn't doing any forking right now. So, you know, if you go over to this website here, this Litecoin Cash, this is some, you know, unknown developers here that are doing this cash fork. And basically, you know, the fork block says February 18th, and then the wallet release is between 18th and 19th. So what I'm going to say for this is, you know, don't give your private key to anyone. I'm personally not going to do this unless it has exchange support. So if exchanges are supporting this fork, then, you know, I'll keep my Litecoin on the exchange. But again, if they're asking you to deposit Litecoin into their wallet, I wouldn't do it. That's just me. You know, they say you'll get 10 Litecoin Cash per Litecoin. Again, it's just, you know, unless other exchanges are supporting this, it's just, I mean, they started this thing, you know, a little over a week ago, and now they're already having the fork date and wallet release. I mean, that just doesn't happen that fast. We've even seen with Bitcoin Private, I mean, their hard fork has already taken, you know, a couple months, and they're finalizing that, and that's going to happen on February 28th. So don't just think that any company can just, you know, announce something a week later and then bam, it's going to be here already. So that's not the case. This may still be real, but again, I have my doubts, especially since Charlie Lee said there really is no fork of Litecoin. So, and he specifically mentioned Litecoin Cash and everything, but I am still bullish on Litecoin, you know, long term. I'm holding some, but again, just want to give everyone kind of a heads up on that fork, and just be wary. Don't ever give anyone your private keys or anything like that. So just to be on the safe side. But speaking of Z Classic, actually, if we go down here, we can actually see that it's up over 5%, almost to $190. So it's one of the only coins that's positive right now. A big reason for this, I was mentioning, is the Bitcoin private fork that's happening on February 28th. So again, for each Z Classic that you hold, then you are getting one Bitcoin private. So expect a lot of run up. I mean, we still have about 10 days till that date. So expect this to run up, you know, over 200. Expect it to near that $300 level. Again, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion. But again, I think that we're going to see a much more run up in Z Classic, especially as we approach closer to that February 28th date. So I just want to give everyone an update on that. I know that they do have a wallet that they are supporting, where you can keep your Z Classic coins. I believe they released a wallet as well on their Twitter. So again, just look for that, and they are going to be releasing support for that. And hopefully, I mean, if like Binance or someone supports this fork, I mean, we're going to see Z Classic run up like crazy. So again, still waiting for an exchange to support it, but they have a great team. They've been working on this for a couple months, and, you know, they have a roadmap and everything. So definitely looking forward to this, and, you know, just decide what you want to do. If you're still holding it, you could take profits, but again, you know, I still see this rising more as we approach that February 28th fork date. So, my official, what's going on, man? Good to have you here. Looking at some more news. So I mentioned the title, you know, Shark Tank investors are bullish on Bitcoin. So for those who don't know what Shark Tank is, basically in the United States, Shark Tank is this show where you have these, you know, millionaires and billionaire investors, and there's about 5 or 6 of them, and they have people that, you know, have these new ideas or these new startup companies, and basically these people will pitch their ideas to these sharks, they call them, and the sharks will decide if they want to buy the company, or they want to buy a percentage of the company, and they kind of offer them, you know, say $100,000 for 20% of the company, or just, you know, based off of profits that the company's made, etc. So these people know their stuff. They've been in business a long time, and one of the Shark Tank people, his name is Rob Herjavec, and he's he's a great guy there, and he knows his stuff. And it says here that he thinks Bitcoin and blockchain are here to stay. So it says, according to Shark Tank's Robert Herjavec, Bitcoin is here to stay in the long term. Cryptocurrency will definitely be regulated, and investors should both get in and get out now, according to an interview with financial news outlet The Streets. So yeah, so The Street that's a whole nother thing in itself. I wouldn't listen to them. But it says, while Herjavec says that he himself is not an investor in crypto, he predicts that Bitcoin's price will continue to rise in the short term, even above the January high of $20,000. And he says, quote, "It'll take out that high. I'm saying it right now," end quote. So that tells you right there, he's confident that we're going to break this January high in the short term. So, if that's not bullish, I don't know what is. And he says he believes cryptocurrency should and will be regulated, and that as firm regulation becomes closer to reality, the price of Bitcoin will continue to speculate, but then drop way down. So basically what he's saying here is, more and more people are going to get into this market, and we're going to see Bitcoin's price rise as, regulations take place, but as more investors come in. So there's still a long way for Bitcoin to go, and it's definitely positive news here that he thinks, blockchain shows a lot of promise. And he says he predicts that 10 years down the line, due to the power of blockchain, I will walk somewhere and a sensor will automatically know it's me. The sensor will be linked to my bank. It'll know how much money I have. I'll pick up something like at the Amazon store. It'll automatically be scanned. And as I leave, it will automatically be verified and paid for. So that tells you, there's a lot of vision for blockchain. And it just tells you how much it can be implemented and just, how much it'll enhance our lives and just the way we, transact and just go, day-to-day life. So that's great. Any big investor that's bullish on Bitcoin, I think that's great for the community, and I think it's awesome for long-term growth. So I just want to mention that. That's definitely something. Another article that's not so positive, but something I just want to keep everyone aware of. Basically, a lot of people are there's a lot of crimes where people are focusing on people that have, a lot of Bitcoin, basically like a lot of robberies and stuff. They're aiming at people that have a lot of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in their wallet. So basically what the gist of this article is, if you have a lot of Bitcoin or just a lot of cryptocurrencies, don't advertise it. Don't post it on social media. Keep that stuff secret, because here, it says in New York City, a man was held captive by a friend until he transferred over 1.8 million worth of Ether, virtual currency, second value only to Bitcoin. And then it says there's a lot of robberies, extortion attempts, and everything. And basically people who know people that have a lot of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, there's been a lot of robberies where they hold them up and make them transfer that Bitcoin over. So just keep that in mind. Don't advertise it anywhere. Just keep it secret. No one needs to know how much you have. You can talk about trading it and everything, but again, don't disclose how much you have, because there's always people who are trying to get, free lunch basically, and trying to steal what you have. So I just want to mention that and just kind of remind everyone, never be too careful, and just, again, always keep that stuff secret. So another article let's go over is, so this article came out a couple days ago, and it says anonymous cryptocurrency trader purchases nearly $500 million in Bitcoin. It says anonymous cryptocurrency trader just purchased a whopping 400 million USD in Bitcoin. And this was when Bitcoin was near $6,000. That's when we got this huge purchase of Bitcoin. It says it's a sign that serious and experienced traders are watching the market and are prepared to leap in when they sense an undervalued asset rather than turn their backs. So, and it talks about, it gives the Bitcoin address, and then it says they purchased 344 million worth at an average of $8,400 from February 9th through the 12th. Then doubled down, adding nearly 41,000 coins for a new total of 96,000 coins, worth around $900 million at today's price of $9,400. So that is a lot of money. Not a lot of people have $400 million just lying around ready to spend. So for this person to drop that kind of money when Bitcoin was on the decline is saying a lot. So again, you have all these, people on Wall Street, all these popular celebrities, everyone who is, really bullish on Bitcoin and has a lot of money. They're the ones that are picking up these low prices, and they're the ones that are really, know the opportunity that cryptocurrencies have. So just don't get it caught into the FUD, when you see Bitcoin and everything going down, because there's people in the know and they're buying for a reason. They know the long-term value of Bitcoin. They know it's going to rise above 20,000, and they want to capitalize on that opportunity. So he says, I'm willing to believe that seeing Bitcoin bottom around 6,000, Wall Street smelled blood and jumped back in. So like I said, Wall Street's always looking to get as cheap a Bitcoin as they can. There's a lot of coordination going on, a lot of media news outlets were spreading FUD. I mean, it seemed like, everything was just one thing after another. So, don't think this is just one or two people. This is a whole, global coordination to get the price as low as it can. And now, we're seeing we're on a rise again. So the news is positive and, pretty much everyone's bullish again. So keep that in mind. There's people here that are purchasing this kind of Bitcoin. I mean, this definitely says something for the long-term value of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So just keep that in mind, when you're looking at all this stuff and, looking at the negative news. I mean, there's definitely people who are in the know and is why they're actually investing this much. So, then another thing that let's talk about, and if any of y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. I mean, I'm just going over some articles and stuff and some interesting stuff that I found. So again, if you have anything, don't feel free to chime in. But one of these other articles, it says game maker Atari is planning to launch its own cryptocurrency. It says the company behind iconic video games such as Pac-Man and Pong is planning to launch its own cryptocurrency dubbed Atari Token. So, Atari was one of the first game makers. They were extremely popular, extremely successful, and they're looking to get some hands, into cryptocurrencies. So it says, as part of the effort, Atari acquired a 15% stake in a Gibraltar-based company, Infinity Networks, and has licensed its brand to the firm. The partnership, which was previously hinted at in a December statement, will see the development of a digital entertainment platform underpinned by the so-called Atari Token. And it says, the game maker noted that its investment was made without cash disbursement by Atari. So basically, they're creating their own Atari Token, and one that kind of is served, as a currency for like in-game purchases. So kind of similar to Digibyte, how, they kind of use that with Minecraft to make in-game purchases on their own servers. Similar thing, but again, they're trying to make this, specific for their platform and, just kind of have more engagement and more involvement with cryptocurrencies. So I think this is great. Again, we're seeing all these new companies get into cryptocurrencies. I mean, everyone's saying it's only a matter of time before Amazon gets involved. Once they get involved, all bets are off. I mean, that's when you can see all the big players jumping in. So again, having all these gaming industries jump in, especially after Nvidia with their graphics cards. I mean, those are selling out due to the high supply of or basically high involvement of crypto miners. I mean, that tells you in itself that companies are taking notice and they want a piece of the pie. So I thought this was good news and definitely something to mention. And then another article is cryptocurrency in Japan. So as y'all know, Japan is super bullish on cryptocurrencies. They're one of like pretty much probably the most bullish on cryptocurrencies. And it says the crypto industry groups are to merge, launch self-regulatory body. So, Japan had one of their exchanges, CoinCheck, if you remember, they had, $530 million hack, which I believe is the NIM token, and which they are refunding their customers. But basically, they want to up their security, and they see the best way to do that is to merge. And it says here, you can see it says, so basically it talks about the hack and everything. And it says Japan has some of the largest exchanges in the world, including Bitflyer, which has branches in Europe and America. And it says, and then it talks about, the companies here, and it has an article here, and I'll go ahead and click on that so y'all can see it. But it says, 2 cryptocurrency industry groups in Japan have agreed to merge in an effort to accelerate the establishment of voluntary regulations and regain public trust in the aftermath of massive virtual currency heist. So, it's one thing for the government to regulate cryptocurrencies, but it's another for the exchanges to just do it, by themselves. So that tells you they're really taking the initiative here, and they're really trying to make it safer for their customers, especially since security is such a high priority right now with all the hackings going on. I thought this was great news and kind of sets the precedence, that regulations aren't bad. As long as they're looking out what's best for the community, then they can still work for both sides. So I thought this is great news. And again, they're really caring about their customers, and they just wanted to make it the safest way possible. And it says the new organization plans to quickly tackle the creation of self-imposed rules on the protection of clients' assets, as well as system trouble, advertising, and insider trading. So this is just, another good article that I wanted to show y'all, and basically one that is positive and provides, some good insight that they're definitely looking to get all the positives that they can out of regulation and making cryptocurrency safer for the newer investors who don't know as much. So just wanted to bring that up. And then last but not least, an article I was looking at, and it says, so Australia, as you know, Australia doesn't really have a specific stance on cryptocurrencies. I mean, they aren't against them, so they're still bullish on them. And it says here, Australian juice company Boost is giving away 4 Bitcoins one a week for 4 weeks to those that buy some juice and enter a code in the Boost app. So this was great to see. Like I said, a lot of companies are getting involved in cryptocurrencies, and you have a company, a beverage company called Boost, who is kind of putting a twist on it. And I guess it's like a little prize. If you buy their drink, you enter the code, in their Boost app, and then you have a chance to win a Bitcoin once per week for 4 weeks. So that's crazy. That's awesome to see that companies are getting this involved and, kind of promoting cryptocurrencies this much. It helps create a more positive image and just spread pretty much the positivity for cryptocurrencies and just kind of give back to the community. So I think this was great. And it says, Boost Juice is an Australian smoothie and juice chain trying to go global. You can't walk in a shopping mall in Australia without spotting at least 3 Boost Juice bars. They're actually quite delicious. And it says they're teaming up with CoinJar, an Australian cryptocurrency exchange that allows users to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and Litecoin. It's an off-the-wall marketing idea that even Boost marketing team admits might not fly. They say, quote, "It made more sense when we were brainstorming," end quote. It wrote in an announcement post, but they said it's too late now. We're full steam ahead. So that's pretty funny. I think it's a great idea, actually, because one, it spreads Bitcoin even further to a lot more people who may not know about it, and it gets people involved. And if we want cryptocurrency to pass the $1 trillion market cap versus where it's at now, at 489 billion, then I believe we need to get cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin out to the masses and get people exposed, because not a lot of people know about Bitcoin. I mean, they've heard of it, but they don't really kind of, know exactly what it is. So as long as you get people talking about it, that's how you can get more investors and more people curious and entering the market. So again, having a company like Boost, having this idea to get pretty much where you can win a free Bitcoin every week, I mean, that's going to get people talking. And when they see the price of Bitcoin, they're going to tell their friends, and it's going to spread. So again, I just see more and more news is coming out like this where companies are getting involved. And I think it's just so positive for this to happen, and just see, how many different companies are getting involved, and, how many different ideas that they have for spreading Bitcoin and just kind of involving their customers in the cryptocurrency market. So I thought that was great news. Again, anyone has any questions, feel free to write in the comments. But we'll go ahead and look at some other coins. If anyone has any coins too, let me know. But some other coins, I was looking at Neo. That's been a good performer lately. I mean, during the rise that we had, Neo was kind of always above the rest. I think it's a great hold. And again, a lot of ICOs are on the Neo blockchain. And you have, I think there's a lot of growth. It's basically the Ethereum of China. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for it. So again, keep an eye on Neo. And then we also have Lisk, and Lisk has their hard fork, I believe February 20th. Or not hard fork, they're rebranding. So they're going to rebrand, and, always before rebrand, you have these big rises. So we could see it rise the next couple of days. So keep an eye on that. So Lisk is another one to look at. Ethereum Classic. This coin, actually, a lot of people are talking about. So Ethereum Classic has been in the spotlight for a while. They have had a lot of supporters with it. And I think they're doing great things. They were the original Ethereum before Ethereum forked. And their team is really focused a lot on development and just have a great roadmap that they're following right now. And a lot of people are bullish on it. So again, it wouldn't hurt to put a little bit in Ethereum Classic as well. Now Tron was one of those coins where it had a huge rise and then it fell. And a lot of people are saying that the rise was basically just due to their vision and what they were planning to do. They really haven't completed a lot of that yet. It's more in the future, but it was kind of, You could say it was maybe a little early for that rise, since there wasn't a lot of stuff done. But again, they are completing stuff that's on their roadmap, and but again, we'll see if it rises again to that 25-27 cent level that it did have in January. But something to keep an eye on. I'm not in it though, so. But one coin that I am still bullish on is VeChain. So VeChain is having a rebranding on, I believe, February 26th, if I'm not mistaken, to VeChain Thor. So they have a lot of government partnerships. I am bullish on VeChain. It's performed great during the downturn. It holds a lot of its gains, and I think it's one that a lot of people support. So definitely keep an eye on VeChain. It's one of those coins that I think is more stable and a good grower in the future. And then looking at a couple others, Nano, it is changed. It was Rayblocks. It's now Nano. It hasn't been doing too well. I don't know why they rebranded exactly, but since it's rebranding, it's kind of fell short. So I don't feel too strong about this coin. It has a good team behind it, but again, it hasn't been doing too well lately. So I'm staying away from that one. Another coin we can look at. Let me see. So Waves has been doing pretty good. It's been steady riser again. I'm not in this one, but I know some people who are talking about it. So could be possibly a good coin, but again, I'm not in it. But again, Z Classic, I mentioned they do have their fork date. That's going to be on February 28th. And I am in Z Classic. I believe it still, has a lot more room to rise. And definitely think, before the fork date, we'll see some good gains from where it is right now. And then let's see if we can find any other coins. Dragon Chain's another one I'm bullish on for the long term. I mentioned a lot of times I see this being $10 by the end of the year, easy. It's a great company, started by Disney, and they have a lot of startup incubator projects with companies, and they launch a lot of startup ICOs with those companies and provide benefits if you hold their token in a wallet, ERC20 compliant wallet. Then basically you'll get like a slumber score, which helps get you discounts on ICO prices, and based on how many dragons you have as well as how long you've held them. So they provide a lot of benefits, and they are a US based company, and I believe most of their ICOs you can participate in if you are in the United States. So they're one of the few companies where you can participate if you're in the United States. So just something to keep in mind. Zilliqa, I know a lot of people were talking about this coin. It had an ICO not too long ago, and it's been performing pretty well. I see this as more of a long-term hold as well if you're holding it. But again, a lot of people are talking about Zilliqa. And then, let's see. Quick Draw says, your thoughts on ADA? So Quick Draw, I think ADA, it's a great company. It had a fast rise just like Tron did. I see a lot of opportunity with Cardano. I think it's more of a long-term hold. We may not see those crazy gains that we saw, in December, January, but I think that, if you're holding a little bit of Cardano, I would continue to hold it long term. I'm actually holding a little bit long term, just because, the company has a great roadmap, great vision, and, their technology, it's really competitive, with, Ethereum, a lot of these top coins. So I do see it. I am bullish on Cardano, but it's more of a long-term hold for me versus, just like a month or two. So, but I definitely think we'll see it, above $1 again, and then approaching new highs, as, Bitcoin and every other coin continues to be bullish. So for short-term growth, I wouldn't pick Cardano, but for long-term growth, I think you'd be safe with it. Let's see, and then going down the line, okay, so Dragon Chain. And then Digibyte, I mentioned, Crypto Hedge. He's really big on Digibyte. If y'all don't follow him, subscribe to his channel. Really knowledgeable guy, a lot of technical analysis, and basically, he really loves this coin. So, if you have a little extra, throw some in Digibyte. It's not a bad coin, and I think that they have a lot of good projects coming up, so could be a bullish coin for the future. Let's see, looking at some more. So Polymath, I've seen a lot of Twitter personalities talking about this coin. One of them made a video recently, CryptoData. If y'all don't watch him, subscribe to his channel. He's really, really bullish on Polymath, so I think that this coin could have some potential in the future. I know it was a recent ICO as well, so take a look at that. They have a lot of good projects coming up. And then let me see. And there's a lot of these coins that, you know, people are talking about. I'm just kind of mentioning the ones that I've seen a lot and seen talked about and stuff that could have a lot of potential. 10x is another one I've seen people bullish on. Basically, they're a credit card company, and you know, they're trying to pair with a lot of big, have a lot of big partnerships with other credit card companies, and I think they have a lot of opportunity here, and we could see 10x, you know, rise in price in the very near future because they have some big projects as well. And the CEO of 10x, he's mentioned that in some YouTube live streams that they do have some big news coming up, so that's one to keep an eye on as well. And then Vertcoin has actually been rising pretty steadily the past couple of days, and again, that's one Crypto Hedge is really bullish on as well. So keep an eye on Vertcoin. We could see that surprise us a little bit as well, especially from the gains. It went as high as, I believe it was $8 or $9 as we got towards in January, so could be another runner there. But so far it's been 30 minutes. I'm gonna check Bitcoin again. Right now it's about $10,565. Again, this RSI is looking really good. That's where I like to see it. It's usually when it's up here in the overbought territory, that's when we have little retracements and stuff. So it's good to see it's consolidated. And again, it seems like, if we zoom in here, it seems like it found support at that $10,000 level. And now we're just kind of, you know, we may be consolidating a little bit right here. And hopefully we'll hold this 10,400 and bounce from there and continue on this channel till we rise again, and then you know, break this short-term resistance of 10,008, and then, you know, back to where we were about 11,003. If we can break both of those, again, we'll be on the upside, and there won't be much resistance until about near the $12,000 mark. So keep an eye on that. And if anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask. I basically just want to come on here, you know, talk about the market and stuff and just what's been going on, cover a couple news articles, and that was it. You know, I mean, it's great to see how much rise we've had in the past week. It's it's been crazy to see Bitcoin, you know, rise as much as it has. I mean, ever since, you know, it dropped from 6,000, it's been on that steady rise, and, you know, it's constantly made higher highs, or at least higher lows. But then, you know, recently it's made higher highs. So it's good to see that more and more people are coming into the market, and just, you know, it's all the news is pretty much bullish. So I'm looking forward to the future and just getting above that $20,000 high that we had in January and you know, December and January, and basically going up from there. So I think we'll reach that a lot sooner than later. So definitely, if you're wondering what to do with coins, you know, I'd recommend just, if you have a lot of coins and you aren't sure, like, hey, should I sell this to buy this or anything? You know, if you're holding the solid coins, just keep on holding them. That's what I've been doing, and that's what I found out that's been the most profitable. Like, I'll tell you right now, you know, a lot of coins I'm holding, you know, basically got some Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin, I got Litecoin, some Cardano, and then some Z Classic and Dragon Chain. Those are mainly the holds, and, you know, I've just been holding those through the dips. And I bought some more, you know, Ripple bought some more Litecoin at the dips, and they've been great. And that's the best thing, is a lot of these top cap coins, I mean, you know, if the market, you know, dips down again, I mean, eventually in 2 to 5 years, a lot of these coins aren't going to be here. You know, a lot of these altcoins, you know, past the top 100, and even some of these here, they won't be around. But those top 10 coins, give or take a couple, they're always going to be here. I mean, the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, I mean, these coins you can look at for more long-term growth. You know, once you get past, you know, the top 40, top 50, then it's kind of shaky if, you know, you want to keep some of these coins or not. So always have some of the big coins, at least for long-term holding. You know, I recommend that. Again, not financial advice, just my opinion, but a lot of these, I think that's your safest bets. And then you can have a little bit of money where, you know, dabble in some of these lower ranked coins, and some that are, you know, I think could have some good growth. So just my 2 cents. You know, if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't. But with that, I'm going to call it, and y'all have a great night. So until next time, thanks for watching.